Hi there, everyone. It's Ifti from Extreme Returns. For those of you who are regulars, please, you know what to do. I'm a chartered management accountant by background. I've worked for big companies like Unilever and Mars. I went into recruitment consultancy and headhunting, then went on to set up my own businesses. I set up an estate agency, did that very successfully, and more recently, a car hire company on peer-to-peer platforms like GetAround and Turo. My family and I are the largest in the UK. I've made this really fun video. Just type in my story, 𝙀𝙧𝙤𝙤 𝙀𝙭𝙥𝙚𝙀𝙧𝙤𝙀. It's only 1.5 minutes long. And I've been featured on the BBC, Independent, and multiple other places. I've set up my own channel as well here on YouTube. It's doing reasonably well. Do consider subscribing. I joined on Etoro as Extreme Returns only a few months ago. Believe it or not, this February figure was more than 15% only recently due to the market's bombing. It's at least it's still in the positive. Got 38 copiers and 247 followers. Thank you to each and every one of them. Okay, so today what I thought I'd do is look at an article from one of my favorite authors. His name is Ben Carlson, and his title is called "The Stock Market is Smarter Than All of Us." So what he's saying here, and I'm not going to read it all, but basically what he's saying is that don't try and double guess the stock market. I'll read some of it. It says the stock market doesn't care about feelings. It just keeps moving along, discounting the future. In this crisis, during the biggest quarterly drop in economic activity in our country's history, the stock market looked across the valley. Yes, there was some form of help from the government, but few, if any, predicted how much better things would get than the stock market. The stock market was already at all-time highs by the time the vaccine hit the headlines. It predicted the vaccine. Just think about some of the stocks that have been rocketing the best part of the year right now. Live Nation, he says, this is the first of several examples, sells tickets to concerts. I have no idea when live concerts will be here again. Live Nation probably doesn't know, but they will come back at some point. Guess what? The stock market doesn't care. And look at that, it's gone to an all-time high. It's already pricing in those concerts that people can't wait to get back to new highs. How about Hilton Hotels, he says? Sure, people are starting to travel more, but the stock market's pricing in everyone traveling again, all-time highs. One more example. Disney made one of the great pivots of all time for a huge corporation by moving into streaming, but the company is also well known for theme parks, cruise ships, and resorts, all basically shut down or operating at minimal capacity for much of the past year. The stock market, he says, has already priced in the reopening and then some. Look at that. And he gives other examples as well, SeaWorld and so on. Then he goes back in time and says, look, in a book called Wealth, War, and Wisdom, this chap gives a blow-by-blow history of many of the turning points comparing the war to the stock market. Hitler invaded Poland. Guess what happened to the New York Stock Exchange? 3-day mini buying panic with a 20-point or a 7% gain in the Dow. America hadn't joined, and guess what? In the summer of 1940, before the Battle of Britain, before Pearl Harbor, what happens? Stock market prices it in. So this is not something which is just relevant to today. He goes back in time 70, 80 years and looks back at the history of all of this. And it's really fascinating. I recommend everyone to look at it. So let's look at some of the companies which we have got in our portfolio. Ferrari has declared a dividend. That's one of our companies. Virgin Galactic falls sharply after pushing space tourism plans to 2020. I've picked up more shares. Etsy tops estimates, guiding for strong growth in Q1. It went up, I think it's 15%, which was fantastic. We've got that as well. Bitcoin slides. It's been going up and down all over the place. Nothing new there. Jumia shares slump. That was a bit of a disappointment. I've picked up some more as well. And also the Bitcoin craze started by MicroStrategy, Square, and Tesla is going on. And I think people are just waiting for it to come down to a certain price and then they'll jump in. I also wanted to cover the Wall Street Journal. There are a couple of things which caught my eye. SPAC frenzy emboldens Silicon Valley startups to forego venture funding. Now, I think this is a bit dangerous, and it reminds me of the dot-com bubble. SPACs are special purpose acquisition vehicles, which really mean that a company doesn't have to go through the traditional IPO route. They're also called blank check companies, where investors give money, cash, over to a company who will then go and acquire or help another company to float. Virgin Galactic is one good example of that. So this company here, California aerospace startup Archer Aviation, has a multi-billion-dollar vision of flying people around town in electric vehicles, like helicopters. It doesn't have revenue or even a single vehicle ready for passengers, but that hasn't slowed the 3-year-old company. And guess what the market valuation is now? 2.7. I think that's crazy. And I think it needs to be regulated, but who am I? The SPAC market was actually a really good spot to go raise a lot of capital in one big swoop. Is the co-founder, Adam Goldstein. Company slated to start trading on the New York Stock Exchange in a few months. And then it talks about other stuff which is going on. Very quickly, McDonald's considers partial sale of digital startup Dynamic Yield. The fast food chain said it was exploring a sale of the portion of the Israeli-based technology firm that works with other retailers, a growing part of its business. And there's a couple of other articles, but we don't have time for that. Maybe next time. That's my 5 minutes up. Quick advertisement for my wife, who is now a Blue Star cadet. She's joined. She's got the only Asian fund. I know it's red at the moment. Don't worry, it will bounce back. She's got 14 copiers. Thank you very much to every one of them. Very good quality companies like Baidu, C, Meituan, New Technologies, and so on. Just to give you it's only down by 1%, so I wouldn't worry too much. It will bounce back, and it's a fantastic portfolio. Thank you for one and all. See you guys soon. Take care and bye.